Have you ever noticed how certain people enter a room and everyone automatically pays attention? It's not because they're loud, it's not because they're trying to get attention. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There's something about them that communicates silent danger, a presence that makes even the most arrogant measure their words before speaking. And here's the truth that goes against everything you've been taught about being nice and making friends. This kind of deep respect doesn't come from being likable. It comes from becoming psychologically unshakable. While most men waste their entire lives trying to please, seeking approval, bowing down to get crumbs of validation, there's a completely different path, the Machiavellian path. And no, before you think this is about becoming a cold sociopath, let me stop you. This is about finally regaining control of your own life. It's about stopping being an emotional puppet in the hands of anyone who knows how to push your buttons. It's about developing that kind of relentless self-control that makes you appear calm on the outside, while inside you're processing everything with the precision of a professional chess player 3 moves ahead. You know what the problem is? Modern society has sold you the idea that expressing every emotion you feel is authenticity, that always being available is being present, that reacting to everything is having a strong personality. Lies. That's weakness disguised as virtue, and the few who have discovered this, they're playing a completely different game while you're still trying to understand the rules. Today, you're going to discover the 7 dark signs, and I call them dark because they go against all the pretty politically correct rhetoric you hear. That you've finally become the kind of man no one dares ignore. Not because you're physically intimidating, not because you have money or institutional power, but because you've mastered something that 99% of people will never master: yourself. And when you control your reactions, your emotions, your presence, when you strategically choose where to put your energy instead of letting it leak in any direction, something fascinating happens. People start to see you differently. Those who ignored you start seeking your opinion. Those who disrespected you start to measure their words. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's a direct consequence of you stopping playing the game like everyone else and starting to play like the few who truly win. So if you're tired of being taken advantage of, tired of seeing mediocre people get more respect than you, tired of feeling like the world uses you as an emotional doormat, stick with me until the end. Because what you're about to learn in the next few minutes isn't empty motivational theory. It's real strategy based on real human nature, tested for centuries from the time of Machiavelli to today. Let's go. If something inside you awakened while listening, don't ignore that feeling. This channel isn't about videos, it's about memories. Remember who you were before the fear, before the exhaustion, before the silence. Each new video here is a different reflection of your own soul, an invitation to understand what the world never taught you. The power you seek outside has always been within you. If you feel that this journey speaks to what lives silently within you, sign up now. Not to follow yet another creator, but to reconnect with something the world tried to make you forget. Because here, every word was made to heal, each reflection to awaken, and each video serves as a reminder you are not alone on the path back to yourself. Click on subscribe and turn the algorithm into a daily reminder of who you really are. Do you know that feeling of being in an important meeting and someone provokes you, throws out a barb disguised as an innocent comment, and you feel that heat rising in your chest? Well, at that exact moment, you have a crucial choice: to be an emotional puppet or to be the one in control. The stark truth is that most people go through life reacting as if they had a remote control in the hands of others. Someone presses a button, they explode. Another presses one, they melt. And then there's that pathetic dance where everyone around knows exactly how to manipulate you. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Politics guided by reality, not by ideals, shows us that those who let emotions control their actions are condemned to be a pawn on someone else's chessboard. Emotional immunity doesn't mean becoming a cold, heartless robot. Far from it. It means developing that rare ability to feel everything intensely inside, but only transmitting what you strategically choose. It's like having a bulletproof safe inside you, where your true reactions are kept until you consciously decide what to do with them. Think about it. When someone insults you and you react immediately, who's in control? Spoiler alert, it's not you. You've just handed your power over to someone else to decide how you'll feel and act. Now imagine the opposite. Someone tries to provoke you and you simply observe it as if you were watching a rather uninteresting movie. You feel the urge to react, of course you do, but there's a sacred space between the stimulus and your response. In that space lies your real power. The less you react impulsively, the more lost people are around you, unsure how to read or influence you. This constant adaptability in choosing your emotional battles transforms you into a walking mystery. And mysterious people who don't reveal everything on the first try naturally attract respect and even a healthy amount of apprehension. It's not about repressing emotions until you explode later. That would be a disaster. It's about processing them internally with maturity before deciding if and how you'll externalize them. Practice this starting small. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic, take a deep breath and choose not to let it ruin your entire morning. The cruel beauty of emotional immunity is that it gives you an advantage in literally every area of life. Negotiating a raise, those who show desperation lose. Dealing with a complicated relationship, those who emotionally pursue push away. Facing a crisis, those who panic make terrible decisions. There's an ancient concept called virtù, that ability to act with courage and skill in the face of fortune, of life's chance. And virtù without emotional control is worthless. It becomes just impulsiveness disguised as boldness. When you master your emotional reactions, decisions based on real human nature become clearer because you're no longer seeing the world through the fog of your anxiety, anger, or need for approval. You begin to perceive patterns, people's real motivations, the games being played. And then, my friend, you finally sit at the table of those who play instead of continuing to be played. The calculated use of emotional strength, knowing when to show empathy, when to demonstrate firmness, when to simply remain silent and observe, becomes second nature. But hold on, this isn't a trick you learn overnight by watching a motivational video. Here's a truth no one tells you because everyone is obsessed with being seen. Your absence can be infinitely more powerful than your constant presence. Sounds crazy, right? We grow up hearing that we need to be everywhere, answer everything, take a stand on every issue, be present in every group conversation. But think about it. When you're always available, always responding, always around, you become furniture. People take you for granted. Now, when you strategically choose when to appear and when to disappear, something fascinating happens. You gain scarce value. Machiavelli understood that real power doesn't need to shout its existence all the time. It's better to be feared than loved. But even better is to be respected through your selective and impactful presence. It's not about playing games or childishly ignoring messages to seem busy. It's about genuinely choosing where your energy goes. Think about the most powerful leaders you know. They aren't in every meeting. They don't personally answer every email. They don't participate in every discussion. The appearance of virtue they cultivate is precisely this. When they show up, it matters. Let me give you a very practical example. Imagine two colleagues at work. One of them comments on absolutely everything in the company group chat, gives his opinion on every project, and is always available for any conversation. The other chooses to appear strategically. When he speaks, it's to add something valuable or solve something important. Which of the two do you think makes more of an impact when he really needs attention? Obvious, right? The second guy created artificial scarcity around his opinion. Now apply this to your life. You don't need to be in every WhatsApp conversation. You don't need to defend your reputation from every malicious comment made out there. You don't need to explain where you were or why you took so long to respond. A policy guided by reality, not ideals, shows you that the more you justify yourself, the weaker you seem. The more you chase validation by appearing everywhere, the more ordinary you become. Avoiding being hated is important, yes, but being memorable means choosing your battles and simply disappearing from those that aren't worth your time. Let others dwell on your absence while you're building something real. The calculated use of force includes knowing when to retreat. Great generals know that sometimes strategic retreat saves the entire army for a better fight another day. In your personal relationships, this means not taking every bait thrown your way. Someone wants to discuss politics at family dinner. You can simply smile and change the subject. An acquaintance wants to drag you into a fight that isn't yours. You can choose not to enter the ring. The point is that decisions based on real human nature show us something counterintuitive. People value more those who aren't always available, always agreeing, always present. It's the law of supply and demand applied to human relationships. When you practice strategic retreat, you're essentially saying, my time, my energy, and my presence have value. I don't give them away for free to just any situation. And believe me, this doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you respected. Start small. The next time a silly argument breaks out in the group, simply don't respond. Observe how in a few days, nobody even remembers it anymore. But if you had gotten involved in the fight, you'd still be carrying that weight today. The constant adaptability of knowing when to advance and when to retreat is what separates strategists from impulsive individuals. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful people you know speak very little? It's no coincidence, my friend. While most people waste words as if they were carnival confetti, those who truly understand the game hold on to each phrase as if it were valuable ammunition. Before opening their mouths, they go through a mental filter that most don't even know exists. Do I need to say this? Is it me who needs to say it? Is this the right time? 3 simple questions that would completely change the lives of 90% of people if they actually applied them. But they don't, because we live in an era where everyone thinks they need to have an opinion on everything, where staying silent is interpreted as not having an opinion. Big mistake. Strategic silence is one of the most devastating weapons in the arsenal of those who understand the dynamics of power. Machiavelli already knew this. The end justifies the means, and sometimes the most effective means is simply saying nothing and letting others hang themselves with their own words. The less you speak, the more people listen when you finally open your mouth. It's basic social mathematics. Scarcity generates value. Imagine a concrete situation. You're in a meeting and a colleague presents a clearly flawed idea. The natural impulse is to interrupt, correct, and show that you're smarter. But here's where the calculated use of force comes in. You choose to remain silent, let the person finish, and while they dig their own grave, you observe who else in the room is noticing the flaw. When it's your turn, you don't attack directly. You simply ask 2 or 3 pointed questions that expose the flaws without you needing to point the finger. The result? You seemed intelligent without creating an enemy, while the one who talked too much lost credibility on their own. Decisions based on real human nature show us that people hate being corrected publicly, but love those who make them think. Another example. You're in a relationship, and your partner accuses you of something unfair in the heat of an argument. The temptation is to defend yourself immediately, list all the reasons why the person is wrong, and counterattack. But what happens if you simply take a deep breath and say, I understand you're upset. Let's talk about this when we're calmer. You diffuse the entire situation without giving them ammunition to escalate. Politics guided by reality, not ideals, teaches us something brutal. Most conversations don't need your participation. Seriously, look at how many pointless discussions you've been in over the last few months that haven't changed anything in your life or anyone else's. Internet comments, a waste of time. Office gossip, a waste of energy. Defending your point of view to someone who's already decided to hate you, a loss of dignity. When you start treating your words like a rare commodity, something magical happens. People start to truly listen to you. That guy who speaks at every meeting, nobody really pays attention. But you, who spoke only 3 times in the last month and each time was spot on, when you open your mouth, the room stops. This doesn't mean becoming a silent hermit. It means developing that sensitivity to know when your words will have a real impact. The appearance of virtue here is crucial. You don't want to seem insecure or without an opinion, but rather someone who thinks before speaking, who values their own voice too much to waste it. Practice this. Spend an entire week applying these 3 questions before saying anything in social situations. It will be uncomfortable at first, but you'll realize how many words you were wasting every day. Now let's talk about something most people completely ignore. Your body is giving you away all the time. No matter how intelligent your speech or how well thought out your strategies are, if you enter a room with slumped shoulders, a fleeting gaze, and nervous movements, you've already lost before you even open your mouth. The stark truth is that people judge you in the first 3 seconds, and that judgment is purely visual. Machiavelli understood that the appearance of virtue is often worth more than virtue itself, and this applies directly to your physical presence. We're not talking about being the most handsome or muscular guy in the room. We're talking about body discipline. Upright posture, not because someone told you to, but because your body genuinely reflects the inner control you've developed. Deliberate movements, not rushed or lazy, but purposeful. Every gesture communicates intention. Firm eye contact, not aggressive, but that look that says, I am present, I am confident, and I am not apologizing for existing. Your body needs to be the physical manifestation of your inner stability. I'll give you practical examples that you can apply today. First, look at your posture right now as you read this. Are you hunched over? Shoulders forward. Correct that immediately. Keep your spine straight, shoulders relaxed but back, chin slightly raised. It sounds silly, but do this for 5 minutes and notice how even your breathing changes, how different you feel. Second, observe how you walk. Most people walk looking at the ground, somewhat hurried, as if they were apologizing for taking up space. Try this. Tomorrow, when you leave home, walk at a moderate pace, looking ahead, occupying your space without apologizing. It's not arrogance, it's presence. Third, eye contact. This is pure gold. When someone speaks to you, maintain eye contact. Don't look away every 2 seconds. When you speak, also maintain eye contact. Politics guided by reality shows us that those who look away seem insecure. Those who maintain eye contact seem trustworthy. Decisions based on real human nature confirm people trust more those who look them in the eyes. Start by practicing with people at the market, the bakery, places without pressure. The calculated use of force also applies to the body. You don't need to make abrupt movements to show energy, nor remain completely static to appear calm. It's about finding that middle ground where each movement has purpose. When you pick up a glass, it's not an anxious and quick movement, it's deliberate. When you sit down, you don't throw yourself into the chair, you sit with control. Does it seem like a detail? These details subconsciously communicate that you are someone who has control over yourself. And here's something crucial: your own loyal armies. In the context of physical presence, this means that your body is your personal army. It obeys you or betrays you. If you don't train basic physical discipline, how do you expect your body to represent you well in important moments? You don't need to become an Olympic athlete, but pick a physical activity and maintain consistency. It could be the gym, martial arts, running, swimming, whatever. The goal isn't just aesthetics, it's developing that mind-body connection where you command and the body responds. This discipline spills over into everything: meetings, encounters, difficult conversations. Virtue and fortune dance together here. You develop the ability to control what you can, your body, your posture, your presence, to better deal with what you cannot control, circumstances, the reactions of others. This one might sting a little, but it needs to be said. You're too desperate for results, and everyone around you can smell that neediness. It's like that cheap perfume that people overuse thinking it will impress, but in reality, it just pushes everyone away. When you act seeking approval, validation, a specific result, you surrender all your power to external forces you don't control. And then it becomes that pathetic emotional roller coaster where one more like makes you euphoric and one negative comment destroys your entire day. Machiavelli already understood this. Worry about your actions, not about approval. Politics guided by reality, not by ideals, shows us that results will come or they won't, and often that's completely out of your control. But you know what's always in your control: the quality of your actions, the discipline with which you execute them, the integrity you maintain in the process. When you act with clarity and discipline, but don't cling to the specific result, something liberating happens. You finally become free. And freedom, my friend, is infinitely more attractive than desperate need. Let me give you a concrete example that will clarify this. Imagine you're trying to get a promotion at work. You can go down two paths, the path of need or the path of indifference to the results. On the path of need, you become anxious, send indirect messages to your boss, constantly compare yourself to your colleagues, lose sleep thinking about it, and when you finally have the meeting, your desperation oozes from every pore. The result? You seem weak, needy, someone who desperately needs that promotion. Now the path of indifference. You do your job with maximum excellence, deliver consistent results, develop your skills, and when you ask for the promotion, you genuinely think it would be great to get it, but if it doesn't happen, I know my worth and I'll find opportunities elsewhere. Which version of you seems more promotable? Obviously, the one that isn't desperate. Decisions based on real human nature confirm this. People run from desperation and are attracted to the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need anything specific from them. The secret here isn't feigning indifference while inside you're dying of anxiety. That doesn't work because eventually the mask falls. The secret is genuinely building a life where no specific result has the power to destroy you. How? By diversifying your sources of self-worth. If all your self-esteem comes from work, of course you'll be desperate for professional results. But if you have a job you value, solid relationships, hobbies that challenge you, a constant pursuit of knowledge, and good physical health, now you have your own loyal armies, multiple fronts that support you. When one isn't doing well, the others hold you up. Constant adaptability means knowing how to pivot between different areas of life without putting all your eggs in one basket. Read that again because it's important. You're not becoming apathetic or unambitious. You're building such solid foundations that no rejection, no isolated failure has the power to bring you down. Better to be feared than loved? Maybe. But even better is to be someone people realize won't beg for anything from them. Start by applying this to small things. Send that message to the person you like, but genuinely don't get anxious waiting for a reply. If they reply, great. If not, life goes on. Here lies the great dividing line between those who truly have power and those who only pretend to. Inner stability. Most people are like a paper boat in the middle of a storm. Any external wave turns them upside down. Someone praised them, they're on cloud nine. Someone criticized them, they sank into depression. Did things go well at work? Feeling like the king of the world. Did things go wrong? Existential crisis. This kind of constant oscillation is pathetic and reveals something brutal. You have no center, no anchor, you are a leaf in the wind. And you know what the problem with that is? People sense it. They perceive when your mood and self-worth depend completely on external events that you don't control. And when they perceive this, consciously or unconsciously, they lose respect for you. Machiavelli understood that virtue, that inner strength, that capacity to act with courage and skill, needs to be unwavering in the face of fortune, the unpredictable chance of life. Your mood cannot fluctuate with every external event. Your sense of worth cannot depend on the opinion of the audience. You need to build an internal anchor so deep that when the storms come, and they always do, you sway a little, but you don't capsize. I'll explain how to build this in practice, because there's no point in talking about inner stability without showing the way. First, brutal self-knowledge. You need to spend real time with yourself, without distractions, discovering who you are when no one is watching. Take a notebook and write every day for 15 minutes about what happened, how you felt, why you reacted that way, what patterns you notice. Sounds like coaching nonsense? Maybe, but it works. You start to identify your emotional triggers, understand what destabilizes you and why. Second, relentless consistency in small things. Decide that you will wake up at a specific time every day, and you do it. Decide that you will work out 3 times a week, and you do it. Decide that you will read for 30 minutes before bed, and you do it. Each small promise you keep to yourself builds a layer of inner confidence. You start to believe in your own word because you have practical evidence that you keep your promises. This is your own loyal armies applied to your psyche. You create personal disciplines that obey you even when no one is watching, even when no one will know if you failed. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it develops real skills that no one can take away from you. Politics guided by reality, not ideals, shows us that your value cannot depend solely on titles, positions, or external opinions. These things can evaporate overnight. But skills, those are yours forever. Learn to communicate well, to write clearly, to solve complex problems, to program, to fix things with your hands, to cook, to negotiate. Each real skill you master adds a layer of stability because you know that whatever happens out there, you have the tools to cope. Decisions based on real human nature confirm that the most stable people are not those who have perfect problem-free lives, but those who have developed real capabilities to deal with problems when they arise. And here comes the calculated use of emotional strength. When you have this inner stability, you can choose when to show vulnerability and when to show strength, because neither will truly destabilize you. You are not performing stability to impress anyone, you genuinely have it. And this authenticity is communicated in ways you wouldn't even imagine, in your voice, in your gaze, in the calm way you handle crises. Now we've reached the top of the pyramid, where everything you've learned so far comes together in a devastating concept, controlled intensity. You know that image of a volcano. On the outside, it looks like a tranquil mountain, but inside it has a gigantic energy ready to explode when necessary. That's exactly what you need to become. Most people err at 2 opposite extremes. Either they are lazy and apathetic all the time, letting opportunities slip through their fingers, or they are hysterical and reactive, wasting all their energy on tiny problems. Neither has real power. The person who masters controlled intensity, that's the truly dangerous one. They know exactly when to stay calm, when to observe, when to wait, and they know exactly when to act with full and decisive force. Machiavelli already understood that the calculated use of force is everything. It's no use having all the strength in the world if you waste it on the wrong battles. And it's no use always being calm and diplomatic if, when the moment to act arrives, you freeze. The constant adaptability between these two states is what separates the truly powerful from the eternal supporting actors. Let me give you some practical examples to help you start calibrating that intensity. Imagine someone at work makes a small mistake that slightly affects your project. Most people either explode in a disproportionate reaction that burns bridges or swallow it silently and brood for weeks. Controlled intensity? You quickly assess, is this important enough to spend energy on? If not, you let it go without drama. If yes, you act with surgical precision, direct conversation, expose the problem, establish clear limits, without yelling, without getting emotional, but making it crystal clear that it cannot happen again. The result? You didn't create an enemy, but the person knows that with you, there's no gray area. Another example, you've been pursuing a big opportunity for months, and finally the decisive moment arrives. It's not a time for excessive caution. It's time to gather all that energy you've been saving and act with maximum intensity. Call whoever you need to call, send that crucial email, give that presentation as if your life depended on it. Decisions based on real human nature show us that people respect those who can switch between a calm, observant mode and a total, unstoppable action mode. The secret to controlled intensity lies in never overreacting to small problems and never underreacting to big opportunities. It seems obvious, but look at how many people you know who do the exact opposite. They panic because someone didn't like their photo, but are lazy when a real chance to change their lives appears. You need to develop that internal thermometer that assesses in seconds, does this deserve 10% of my energy or 100%? And then act accordingly. Politics guided by reality, not by ideals, teaches us that resources, time, energy, attention are limited. Wasting them on irrelevant things is strategic stupidity. Hoarding too much and never using it when it matters is cowardice disguised as prudence. Better to be feared than loved. Here, this means that people need to know that you have both modes. The calm mode that negotiates, talks, gives second chances, and the intense mode that, when activated, doesn't stop until it solves or destroys the obstacle. Avoiding being hated still applies because you don't use intensity to crush everyone gratuitously. You use it strategically when it really matters. Start practicing this today. Identify 3 small situations that would normally stress you out and consciously choose to remain 100% calm in them. Then identify 1 large situation that deserves your full intensity and throw everything you have into it. Feel the difference in power when you control where your energy goes instead of letting it leak out in any direction. So, after everything you've just learned, the question remains, what are you going to do with it? Because look, information without action is worthless. You can watch 1,000 motivational videos, read 100 self-help books, but if you wake up tomorrow morning and continue to be the same person reacting the same way to the same provocations, nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing. So answer me with brutal honesty. Are you going to continue being an emotional puppet, or are you finally going to cut the strings and take control? Are you going to continue showing up at every useless conversation, or are you going to practice strategic withdrawal and value your presence? Are you going to continue wasting words like confetti, or are you going to transform each phrase into a precise weapon? Look in the mirror today and ask yourself, does my body reflect discipline or a carelessness? Am I desperate for results or genuinely indifferent to what I don't control? Do I have inner stability, or am I a paper boat in a storm? Do I know when to be calm and when to explode with full intensity, or do I err at both extremes? These questions hurt, I know, but it is precisely this pain that separates those who truly want to change from those who only want to feel good by watching videos about change. Here's the stark reality. You are exactly 7 decisions away from becoming the man no one dares ignore. 7 habits, 7 transformations, 7 daily practices that will completely separate you from the mass of mediocre people you see around you. The question isn't whether you're capable, because you are. Everyone is capable of developing self-control. Everyone can cultivate inner stability. The real question is, are you willing to go through the necessary discomfort? Because make no mistake, in the first few days, it will be strange not to react to everything. It will be difficult to remain silent when you want to speak. It will seem forced to control your posture and physical presence, but it is precisely in this discomfort that the transformation happens. Machiavelli wasn't wrong when he said that the end justifies the means. And the end here is for you to become such a powerful version of yourself that the people around you will have no choice but to respect you. So what will it be? Will you stay there lamenting that the world doesn't give you the respect you deserve? Or will you build the kind of presence that makes respect inevitable? Look, if you've made it this far, you've already proven something important. You're not like most people who give up halfway through. You have this hunger to transform yourself, this restlessness that won't let you accept mediocrity. So don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel now and activate the notification bell, because all the content I bring here is exactly that. Real knowledge, practical strategies, brutal truths that will make you evolve while others remain stagnant. It's not about cheap motivation that passes in 2 hours. It's about you systematically building the kind of man who dominates any environment he enters. And let me tell you, the next videos will go even deeper. I'll show you how to read people in seconds, how to negotiate and get everything you want, how to build real wealth through strategic thinking, all based on timeless principles that have worked for centuries. So subscribe, activate notifications, and comment below which of the 7 signs you most need to develop right now. Seriously, comment. Not only because it helps the channel grow, but because when you publicly declare what you're going to change, you create real commitment. See you in the next video. And remember, relentless self-control isn't loud or obvious. It's inner stability that doesn't crumble under pressure. Be that.